Hey, what's up, everybody? Sean Douglas here, and I'm coming to you to talk about some of the things that I'll be doing in 2019, and wanted to talk to you about my word, the marketing strategy, where I see the world going, and what I'm going to be doing and creating and working on in 2019. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, would love to hear from you. Would love to see what you're up to, and and go from there. So my word for 2019 is going to be growth. I really want to have a growth mindset. I really want to grow what I'm already doing. I want to grow it. So in 2016, I had a word that I think when you have a word that means something personal to you, something like purposeful, that's what I was working on in 2016 was purpose, working on a purpose. What was my purpose? And so that's what I was doing. And then in 2017, I was like, okay, in 2017, this is going to be execution. This is what I'm going to be doing, execution in 2017. And in 2018, this year, it's all been about momentum, the momentum carrying me forward. And I think I've capitalized, when I put the word in front of me, I've capitalized strategically and using that word for everything that I do. So my word for 2019 is going to be growth. I want to have a growth mindset, and I want to grow everything that I'm doing. I hit monumental levels this year. Hey D, how's it going? I hit monumental levels this year. I'm finishing out 2019 or 2018 with a guest on 59 podcasts. I was a guest on 59 podcasts. I'd spoken on 21 different stages. I had spoken on 3 online summits, and I've gotten like 11 different people that I've worked with one-on-one inside of everything that I do. Going into 2019, I'm carrying that momentum, but I want to have growth. I want to grow as a speaker, grow as a mentor, grow as a podcast host, grow the business, like everything that I'm doing. I'm going to really double down and really grow exactly what I'm doing. So my word for 2019 is growth. My marketing strategy that I'm going to be using for my growth in 2019 is a couple different things. What I'm going to be doing is focusing on LinkedIn a heck of a lot more and making content for LinkedIn and Facebook. Right now, my editorial calendar that I've been working on and making content for in the past 2 months is in preparation for 2019 to go hard in 2019. So my editorial calendar that I have right now that I've been working on is I post at 8 a.m., noon, 4 p.m., and 8 p.m. So I do that as 8 p.m. is something resilience. 12 noon is something business related. I don't know what it is. Could be marketing, could be speaking, could be whatever it's going to be. Content creation, whatever business related. And then hey, what's up, Jake? At 4 p.m. At 4 p.m. is another business related post, but it's the opposite. So it's going to be either I'm doing speaking at noon and business strategies about podcasts or whatever, marketing, or at noon I'm doing marketing, and then 4 p.m. I'm doing speaking. So I've really written it down, said this is what I'm going to talk about. Strategically, this is what I'm going to talk about, and this is the topic that I'm going to cover. And then at 8 p.m., it's a follow-up. It's a recap of the day. So I'm creating 4 pieces of content, minimum, right? If I only post those 4 things, I'm posting 4 times a day. And if I do that 5 days, that's 20 pieces of content a week, and then it just adds up from there, right? It just adds up. So my goal is to produce 1,000 pieces of content as quickly as I can, but I'm doing it strategically. So my word for 2019 is growth. Hey, Trish, what's happening? Nice to see you. My word for 2019 is growth. My marketing strategy is going to be my editorial calendar, posting 4 times a day, 4 times a day is going to be 8 a.m. and everything I do is going to be strategic. Everything I do is strategic. So 8 a.m. is when people are waking up and going to work and they're starting their day, so they're going to check their messages. At noon, everybody's at lunch. At 4 p.m., everybody is getting ready to go home. They're winding down for their work day. They're taking a break, whatever it is. 4 p.m. seems to be the time that I get the most engagement on my pages and everything like that. So 8 p.m. is when everybody is settling down for the night. They're putting their phones away. They're going to get one last check of their messages. And that's why I want to post the content at those 4 times, 8 a.m., noon, 4 p.m., and 8 p.m. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. And so what it is the content is going to be resilience in the morning. Noon and 4 p.m. is going to be something with, is going to be either business strategies or speaking, either at noon or 4, one of the two. That's what it's going to be, either business or speaking. And then 8 p.m. is going to be a recap of the day. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining. And another part of the marketing strategy that I really crushed this year was getting on podcasts. There's approximately 115,000 active podcasts right now. iTunes has about over 500,000 available podcasts. And the reason the difference, because 75% of them have faded out. 75% of the content on those podcasts is now either irrelevant or whatever. So they just don't want to do it anymore. People find out how hard it is with the podcasting and editing and the money involved and the time involved. So on the 115,000 podcasts that are available, I was a guest on 59 shows this year. I was a guest on 30 some odd shows last year. So again, going to be doubling down on the podcast and having guests. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a strategy that I've tested out and done, where I introduce that person's show and they introduce my show. If you listen to the show today that I did, my friend who has the Kingdom Crossroads podcast, Robert Thibodeau, introduced my show. His music played, his show opener played, and said, hey, this is Robert Thibodeau, host of the Kingdom Crossroads podcast, and you are listening to my friend Sean Douglas on Life Transformation Radio. Don't forget to subscribe to our shows. And I hope you enjoy, whatever. So I've done that for him. He's done that for me. I've done that for a couple other guests. So it's a quick 20-second clip that you can make that you give to the other podcast hosts. And maybe for an episode or two, they are playing your intro music or your introduction, introducing their show. And I did one for Odell Bazell on the Odell Bazell show. So that's part of the strategy too. The biggest strategy that I'm using that I have found, actually the big two, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of the stuff, whatever. But the two biggest ones that I'm doubling down on in 2019 is these two right here. Haro, which is Help a Reporter Out. If you don't know what that is, the media that I've been in is because of Haro. And as many times as I have tested, well, maybe I won't, maybe I will, it always goes back to Haro is where you need to be. You get the emails from Haro. It's called Help a Reporter Out. If you go to the website, Help a Reporter Out, you can sign up as a source. They will email you all day long, whatever the topics that you choose. They will email you all day long, journalists looking for these topics, and you write a story for them. And I've been at Entreprenuer.com, ESPN, Women's Health. Skype did an entire blog about me a year ago in 2017. Skype did an entire blog about me, and I blew up after that blog. So you need to be on Haro, which is Help a Reporter Out. The sister of Haro would be Source Bottle. Source Bottle is a Australian publication. So if you want to be international, get on Source Bottle. So Haro and Source Bottle, that's really what I'm going to double down on. But the second part that I'm going to be doubling down on, okay, is Facebook groups and Quora. So if you don't know what Medium or Quora is, back in the early 2000s and even early 90s, the strategy that you would use is you would go into a forum and you would, hey, this is what I need, this is whatever, and think Facebook group, but like really prehistoric and bare bones. So you would go to a forum like Mustang forum, truck forum, car forums, whatever forums there were, and you would post in there and a bunch of people would help you. So on a Volkswagen forum, if I needed something to do with my Volkswagen, I needed a part, I don't understand something, instead of Googling it, I could just go to this one Volkswagen forum, post, and then people will answer my questions. You became the subject matter expert by answering everybody's questions. So I'm using the same strategy, and I tested it a couple times this year. I'm going to use the same strategy as going into a forum and answering a bunch of questions. I'm going to do that in Facebook groups and in Medium and Quora. I've already done it a couple times this year on Medium and Quora, wrote articles and some different things. And I also do it a lot in Facebook groups. If somebody posts, I'm right behind them answering their questions. If somebody says, hey, what are you working on in 2019? I'm posting on their post. So I'm going to be so freaking visible that I'm going to get so annoying that people are going to ask me to stop posting on posts. If you post something, just plan on I'm going to comment right after that. I'm going to comment on as many posts as I can that are meaningful and purposeful. So where I see the world going is in 2019, I see the world going into a little mini recession. Just because it's been good for so long, I see where people are going to start laying off a little bit. You know, you see the algorithms on Facebook, the ads aren't reaching as many people, so they're going to stop doing that a little bit. I firmly believe that we are headed into a mini recession. I really do. I think by May, June, July, you're going to see the economy start dipping and people are going to start getting really super scared. So you can quote me on that. You can play back this video in May, June, July of 2019. But I firmly believe that the economy is going to start taking a dip in May, June, July. But it's also going to have an uptick in February, March, April when everybody's taxes are coming back. I feel like the economy is going to start bursting and then the bubble's going to pop and then everything's going to go down. The reason why I think that is because they've raised earned income credits and taxes, and like they've raised your minimum. It used to be 12.5, your minimum claim or whatever, deductions, whatever. They've done that. They've raised it to like 24,000. So all of a sudden, everybody's going to start getting all this money back. They're going to start spending a crap load of money, and then they're going to quickly find out that the economy just starts going down. I don't know how it's going to happen. That's just my prediction. The way that I'm going to combat that is to keep on doing the same things that I've always done, is provide value, give value where it needs to be given, and give strategic strategies that get a specific targeted result. If it's not going to get me the result that I want, I'm not going to do it. That's it. In 2019, I'm being very strategic, very purposeful, and very targeted in what I'm doing. So my editorial calendar, I post this, bam. And so I'm getting certain results that I want. Podcasts, same result. Each podcast episode that I'm on is now pretty much a $200 to $240 income stream for me. My goal is to get it to 1,000. But every time I'm on a podcast episode, I make sales. So a podcast episode will drop, and I'll watch my PayPal, and it'll go up. My PayPal will start trickling money in. So if you don't have a program, product, service, or whatever that you can sell on a podcast, on a Facebook Live, inside of a group, inside of speaking engagement, whatever, you need to start creating ebooks, courses, and getting booked to speak, because the best way for you to get lead generation is to speak on stage. I'm also going to be doing a lot of lead generation, and what I do now is I go to Google Alerts. So if you don't know what Google Alerts are, Google Alerts, you go to google.com/alerts. And so part of my strategy that I put inside of my Getting Booked to Speak ebook is setting up Google Alerts so that it will come my way whenever I see call for speakers is one of my Google Alerts. And so anytime somebody puts a call for speakers out into Google, Google finds it, it triggers, and it sends me every single website or every single piece of content that says call for speakers. I want it to do that because I don't want to spend hours searching Google or searching websites in order to find the call for speakers for me to get booked to speak. So how I have my lead generation strategy set up is that in my email, I have 5, 10, or 15 different alerts from Google set up, like Resilience Conference, Leadership Conference, call for speakers, call for presenters, call for proposals. I have my name because I want to see if people are talking about me. I want to see my name come when an article, like when I was on TV a couple weeks ago for Veterans Day, a Google alert came by, had my name on it, and it was my video from when I was on TV. So I can repurpose that and remarket that. Another part of the marketing strategy is taking my podcast episodes and chunking them down into little bits. So I'm on a podcast, or my podcast, my show, Life Transformation Radio. I use repurpose.io, which will automatically take your Facebook Lives and take your podcast and repurpose it to YouTube. So every Facebook Live that triggers goes directly to YouTube. And then every podcast episode that happens automatically gets turned into a video. And then I'm taking that video and it's going to go right to YouTube. There's nothing I need to do. So my podcast episode essentially gets turned into a YouTube video. And then one of the last things that a lot of people are not doing is they're not repurposing. Like if you're a guest on a podcast, no one's repurposing that content. So how do you repurpose the content? So I'm going to download every single episode that I have ever been on as a podcast guest. I'm going to start a new podcast called Guest Casting. And what's going to happen is all of those episodes that I've been on are going to go into the RSS feed, which then triggers and everybody can listen to Guest Casting with Sean Douglas. And so you can listen to every single podcast episode that I've ever been on. Okay? So I'm going to be crushing the content. I'm going to be more purposeful, more strategic. Okay, and I'm going to be doubling down on the things that I'm crushing on and learning more about the things that I'm not, because if it's not working for me, I'm getting rid of it. Like Facebook ads, I'll start taking out some more Facebook ads. I'm going to be purposeful on that. And it's going to be, the marketing strategy is right behind me. Like right there, all that stuff is my marketing strategy. Headliner.app. Headliner.app, you can actually download a piece of your podcast episode, puts it into a video with the WAV file going across, and then you can repurpose the content of your podcast episode into video. So if you have any questions, I would love to have a conversation with you. This is what I'm working on. Hopefully you took notes. Hopefully, you have a word for 2019. You have a direct marketing strategy, and it's not posting on Facebook randomly. You have to have call to actions. You have to be purposeful and strategic and have valued content. Randomly posting at random times is not a lead generation strategy. It is not a marketing strategy. You're just posting to post. Every single one of my posts are going to have a call to action. Comment below, post, DM, contact me, something. It's going to have some kind of a call to action. Everything I do is going to have a purpose and a strategic flow behind it. I want you to ask yourself, because I'm on a podcast, now what? Okay, because I'm on a podcast, I can have a link to my ebook, okay? Now that you have a link to the ebook, now what? Now they can download the ebook, okay? Now what? They've downloaded it. Now what? Well, it went to their email. What can I do with their email? Put it into the list, right? Because they download it, it goes into the list. What do I do with that list? Be purposeful and strategic in what I'm doing with that list, okay? What else do I do? They go into the funnel. They go into this. Like everything that you do needs to be purposeful, needs to be strategic, and have to have the next course of action behind it. So if you're on a podcast as a guest, now what? What are you going to do with that? I'm going to do this with it. Okay. What do you want to happen with that podcast episode? I want this to happen. Okay. Now that that's happened, now what do you want to happen? And the end result is not money. It's now what? I want this to happen. Okay. That happened. Now what? Now what? Now what? And I want you to ask yourself that as many times as possible. Now what? Now what? Now what? So I do that all day, every day. If I do this, what's going to happen? What do I want to happen? And I steer people in the way that I want that thing to come true. I want that to happen. So if you have any questions, hey Mark, what's up, brother? If you have any questions about anything, my programs, products, and services, I'm not a real big seller. I'm not sitting here selling just a bunch of crap and just to sell, but I'm always a person of value. Whenever somebody, even when somebody friend requests me, like every single action has to have a reaction. So when someone friend requests me, part of my strategy is to say, hey, Mark, hey, pleasure to meet you. How can I be of value, service, or how can I support you in what you're doing? Like, I send them a Facebook message. And if they say something stupid like, oh, I just wanted to friend request you, what do you do? They're probably going to get deleted, because I'm not going to spend time with someone who hasn't even checked me out but then wants to friend request me. It just shows that they're not serious. So in 2019, I'm only focusing on the serious people. And I'm taking serious people with me. So that's my marketing strategies. Go back, listen to the earlier parts of this video if you have any questions whatsoever. My word for 2019 is growth. I went through my marketing strategy. I talked to you about where I see the world going in 2019, and what I'm doing is I'm being more purposeful, more strategic in the outcomes that I want to happen with what I'm doing. I want a specific targeted result. And so that is my goal for 2019, is to have growth mindset. Love you to connect with Shane Kempton. Actually, absolutely. I'm semi-serious, but also world-class smartass. Does that count? Hey, Mark, you count, brother. You count. I know you're dead serious. And part of my marketing strategy is going to be promoting other people. That's going to be a part of my marketing strategy too, is promoting people. At least one post a day, I'm going to promote somebody. So that's my goal. Whatever I'm talking about, if it's like LinkedIn, who's the LinkedIn master? Get a hold of this guy. Like, I'm going to start, promoting a lot of people. So if anything is unclear, or if you are unsure of what to do, I'd love to have a 15-minute, 20-minute conversation with you. I'm always up to meeting new people. I'm always up to giving value. That is what I most care about. And you know what? I don't have a scarcity mindset that I can't do this or can't do this, because there's enough for everybody. There literally is 5 or 8 billion people on this planet. There's enough for everybody. So would love to talk to you. Would love to chat. And would love to work with you coming into 2019. What's up, Daniel Gomez, my brother from another mother. Daniel Gomez, if you don't know who Daniel Gomez is, Daniel Gomez is a masterful speaker. He is an amazing friend. He wrote a book called You Were Born to Fly. It's somewhere up here in my bookcase. I have to find it. You Were Born to Fly. Where is his book? There it is. You Were Born to Fly. Daniel Gomez. He is absolutely amazing at what he does. Amazing speaker, amazing friend. Daniel Gomez is the real deal. And you watch, Daniel Gomez is going to blow up in 2019. I promise you, he is going to blow up. So, like I said, if anything, hey, what's up, Lauren? If anything that I've said has resonated with you, you need more questions, you don't know what medium or core is, you don't know what this one strategy is, or headliner, or repurpose, or any of that stuff, I'm telling you, this year, LinkedIn is gonna be killer. Because if you're a B2B or a B2C, you are absolutely going to crush LinkedIn. And like I said, medium, Quora, anything else. I see someone still in their work clothes. Yeah, a little bit. I'm still in my work clothes. But yeah, as I wrap this up, like I said, if anything is unclear or you don't know what I'm talking about with repurpose, headliner, any of that stuff, get a hold of me. And I have 7 speaking engagements already booked for 2019. 7. Got 7 speaking engagements already. So that's going to be a lot of lead generation strategy as well, is speaking engagements and meeting people. And, I'm going to be omnipresent. I think that'd be my word for 2020. I think in 2020, is going to be omnipresent. But for 2019, my word is growth. Growth mindset, growing in the heart, growing into the person that I want to become, and growing my speaking, mentoring, the Success Core Academy, which is the Global Entrepreneurship Speaker and Business Owner Academy. If you want to be an entrepreneur in 2019, a masterful speaker, and a business owner, you contact me and let's talk about raising you to the next level. Yes, Mark, I only got 7. Jeez. Got a couple podcasts already scheduled. I've got speed engagements already scheduled. I have a podcast January 2nd with Doug Sandler and and Strickland. Doug Sandler and Strickland. Dude, these guys, Doug and Strickland, man, they're on the Nice Guys on Business podcast, and they're a mainstay at the New Media Summit, newmediasummit.net. Go check that out, newmediasummit.net. I guess the baby's awake. newmediasummit.net. I'll be there in February as an icon of influence in the podcasting space with 39 other icons in the podcasting space. Would love for you to come out and hang out with me in Tampa, Florida. Yes, this will happen. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. And if anything is if anything's unclear for you, please reach out. Would love to have a conversation with you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time and energy. You're amazing.